queuing up for the most important game of the netball season so far.
It's the minor semi-final in the 2010 ANZ champs, and it's sudden death.
Yes, either the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic or the Southern Steel will cross the ditch to play the New South Wales Swifts in a week for a shot at the grand final.
And let's not forget, this is a home game for the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. They have made the all-important trek up north from Hamilton to Vector.
Surely it's closer to Hamilton than Invercargill. Yeah, probably it is neutral turf, but I'm pretty sure the Waikato crowd is going to follow us up the road to Vector, so yeah, really looking forward to it.
It's still closer to home than what Invercargill is, and I know there'll be busloads of people. I know that all my family is coming to watch, and that's the most important to me, but the Vector, I like playing there. We've never lost Vector, which is a cool feeling.
Yes, welcome to the City of Sails. It's not usually home to Casey Williams, Laura Langman and the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic, but tonight New Zealand's best performed ANZ Championship team will call Auckland home as they face New Zealand's second best, the Southern Steel. This match will be the last this season for one of these teams, but to the victor at Vector, the spoils alive another week at least and another shot at making it through to this year's grand final. Yes, we are with you exclusively live here at Vector Arena in Auckland. We are centre court as we count you down to our live pass-off between the Magic and the Southern Steel. And Anna Stanley, I guess the first subject matter really does have to be this magnificent arena here at Vector Arena. Can you believe that there is not a venue in the Waikato for this game to be played at?
No, I can't believe it, but this is the reality. This is the home game for the Magic here today. Look, there's been busloads that have come up from Rotorua via Hamilton, so I think it will feel like a home game for the Magic. Whether it plays in their favour is yet to be seen.
Okay, it's one each, one apiece this season between these two, but this is a clean slate, isn't it?
Yeah, and I guess that's the beauty of sport. Whether teams have been average or brilliant leading into this game, it's all about who can perform on the day for 60 minutes, who's the most passionate and committed. The team that is will win.
Well, the winner of this one does go through to face the New South Wales Swifts next Sunday in Newcastle after the Adelaide Thunderbirds caused the upset of the season yesterday in the major semi-final, which means Adelaide will host the grand final in a couple of weeks. And speaking of Thunderbirds, it's time now to cross to our old mate, former Thunderbirds captain, former Australian captain, Catherine Harvey-Williams, and she's back with us after the birth of her third child. So first of all, Kath, congratulations.
Thank you, Andrea. The birth went smoothly. Joel's going well, but Jenny, as much as I love being a mother, it's nice to be amongst adults.
And Kath, you're a lot trimmer than when I last saw you, for sure. But I don't want to talk about babies. I want to talk about home court advantage and how much is it really worth?
Look, I don't think it'll make much difference here tonight. Yes, in the preparation, but when it comes to the game, the dimensions of the court are still the same, the height of the goalpost and the goal ring, so it won't make much difference at all.
Okay, having said that, you pick the results.
Well, I'll go for the scientific method, Jen. Magic it is.
And I agree with the coin, Reggie, magic.
Well, she might be very versatile, that Catherine Harvey-Williams, but she couldn't flip a coin if her life depended on it. Now, the Magic and the Steel, let's talk about the paths that they've had to this match, because they've been completely different. The Steel, unconvincing last week against the Swifts. The Magic, a mighty old win against the Thunderbirds.
Yeah, both very different runs to this game here tonight. The Steel, a 17 loss against the Swifts, but that could have come at just the right time. The old saying, you always learn a lot more from your losses, so you know they'll be fired up and they won't want to repeat that tonight. On the other hand, the Magic, look, they had a 9-goal win against the Thunderbirds in their last game, and they're starting to click at just the right time. So look, it's too close to call. They called it. They called the Magic.
Yeah, we need a coin as well, probably. Well, one woman who's had a really interesting journey to this match, in fact, a really long journey from the other side of the world, is the England international Jade Clark, who's come in as a wing defence replacement for the injured Peter Scholes. And she is just happy to be playing ANZ netball.
And it is a very pumped-up Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic side.
I've been trying to play ANZ for the last 2 years, so I haven't had the opportunity, so I'm really happy that I was given the opportunity and allowed by Netball New Zealand to come and play for this team. I've really enjoyed it. I'd love to do it again.
So look at this work from Jade Clark.
It's definitely helped. Like every game feels so much like an international because the crowd's so big and the pressure's on and the standard is so high. So it's been really good for me to get a few more games at that standard.
There's Jade Clark at wing defence.
She's been a real acquisition since Peter Scholes went down.
It's not the ideal preparation, but I've really enjoyed coming into it at the business end. So I've come in and the pressure's really on, so I didn't really have time to, worry about it. So I've just got thrown straight in there, and I really enjoyed that. And last game, it was still in the rounds, but it felt like a playoff game because as far as we were concerned, if we didn't win it, we were out. So that's really exciting to come into a game like that.
Well, there's no doubt about it. She looks like she's fitted right in. And anyone who plays wing defence at home, we know now that it's just such a crucial position. One woman who is in steel colours and one of the key players tonight is without a doubt the Silver Fern shooter, Danica Wipiiti, who's back after the birth of her first child late last year. And let's just say that she's really enjoying being a netballer second and a mum first.
Well done, Wipiiti.
It's been huge because obviously I go out there and now I love the game and go out there and play with a totally different aspect about it because when I come home I'm a mum.
Oh, and there's little Danica Wipiiti's child.
So I can't go home and dwell about the game and I can't go back and, sulk. So I've got a little girl that I've got to obviously treasure and I just love spending time with. And obviously she doesn't think that I'm Danica the goal shooter. She just looks at me and goes, Mum, where's my lunch? So it's been really nice and it's just nice to get away sometimes, obviously, and go and play a game of netball and always come home to a duty nappy or two.
Should be proud of what her team has put out there. They have taken the game to the second place Magic.
I think the motivation's there because we got kicked and we really want to show, obviously, all our supporters down here and obviously friends and family that have followed us that we are that clinical team, we are that brilliant team that we've been shown over the last 4 or 5 weeks. And I think we want to get out there and show them that we can do it. And we deserve to be in the final just like any other team because you do the hard yards from like October. So I think we can go out there and we just play our game and play it well. And, when we get a turnover ball, we score from it and we just don't give that turnover ball for them to score.
Well, Anna Stanley, here they come. The Southern Steel, they're in town at Vector Arena. It's sudden death. They're about to do the walk-on to centre court here. What will be going on in their minds?
Well, there's a lot of experienced campaigners, not only in the Steel but the Magic. They'll be focused, they'll be thinking about what their task is out on court, but there's no denying this is pressure netball, so there'll be nerves. And I think as an athlete, it's good to be nervous because it means the adrenaline's pumped and you're fired up. So let's hope both sides are pumped out there.
Danica Wipiiti, we just heard from her, caught up with her during the week down in Invis. A massive match for her.
Yeah, big game up against Casey Williams, you'd hope back in the back at goalkeeper. And Danica's really flourished this year, especially playing with Megan Dean, so it's a big game for her.
The rest of the team, she's been well supported by Megan Dean, but last week across the Tasman, they really did struggle as a frontline combination. How do you remedy that, and how is your confidence not knocked?
Well, I think the Steel remedy it. They remedied it last week by bringing Juliana Naupu on. So the good thing is they've got strength on the bench. She's a fantastic impact player, and I would imagine that if that attacking end for the Steel don't perform tonight, then we could see a change. But look, they're experienced girls. Danica and Megan will just be going, right, let's dump that game, learn from it and move on.
Well, you sort of have to, don't you? Let's talk now about the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic, because we really did have such different paths, these two teams, into this match. And the Magic heading out onto the centre court with smiles on the dials, as you'd expect. They would be so buoyed by that win against the Thunderbirds last weekend.
Yeah, they're starting to just play the netball that we know the Magic are capable of. They've got star players in all areas of court. This leading by this young woman here, Laura Langman. She had a fine game last week. It's a big game for her tonight. And look, they've got the players to do it. But they've shown inconsistencies this year. Tonight it's pressure netball. Can they back it up 2 weeks in a row?
Now, we bumped into Monica Leggett, who's one of the doyens of Waikato netball, and she said that so many people are going to be heading up from the Waikato and the Bay of Plenty. So even though this is in Auckland, it will be a home match for them, yeah?
Yeah, and just standing here, you can see a lot of Magic supporters here. They've got the Mulu bells going. It's pretty loud in here. So look, it's a great atmosphere, and hopefully let's see a fantastic game.
Well, no doubt about it. There are plenty of Magic supporters in the house. And here they come out onto this magnificent centre court, onto Vector Arena. And I guess the one thing that this venue does, Anna, is it does make it feel like a semi-final, because it's the type of place where test matches are played. It's just that little bit bigger and that little bit more exciting.
Yeah, it's got a bit of that star feel to it, doesn't it? It's a bigger stadium. It just, you know, they play test matches here. Both, I'm sure a lot of the girls would have played here before who are in the Silver Ferns. But yeah, this is what semi-finals netball is all about. It's absorbing the pressure, the crowd, the atmosphere, and whoever does that tonight will be the team that comes out on top.
Well, I have to say the nerves will be no doubt jangling already. We are ducking away to a quick break, but before we do, don't forget that you can still be in to win with us in the ANZ Passport to Sport competition, and it's pretty easy, Annie.
Certainly is. All you need to do is get your little phone out and text 586, and the winner will be announced on our final episode of On Court.
So 586. Annie's probably downloaded an application on her iPhone, is that right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've already done
maybe.
it.
We'll see you very shortly with more live netball for you from
I guess traditionally these two teams have kind of been the top of the New Zealand competition, so it's kind of like the battle for the top of the New Zealand netball fraternity, and I guess along comes with the fierce rivalry. With that comes, you know, who wants to be on top when the game's finished. We need to make sure that we make the most of this opportunity.
Very good scalp there to claim. Hopefully we'll beat the Magic by obviously playing our own game and playing to our own strengths, and yeah, just focusing on us rather than on them.
Victor Arena in Auckland, where the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic are calling home tonight with no venue available in Mulu country. The Magic have brought the 2010 minors semi-final here, where they'll host the Southern Steel and the Sudden Death Wrangle. Yes, hi there. It is fantastic to have your company. Things are getting exciting. We're at the business end of this championship, and we're getting set for live pass-off between the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic and the Southern Steel. Anna Stanley, you've been there, done that. Finals netball. How big a step up?
It's a huge step up. Look, this is sudden death netball. The loser, this is the end of their season for the ANZ champs. Both teams coming in very different games in round 14. The Magic coming off a pretty good win against the Thunderbirds. The Steel, a 17 loss against the Swifts. So it'll be interesting to see who can put together 60 minutes of good quality netball tonight.
We certainly saw the pressure of finals netball, didn't we, yesterday? The New South Wales upset by the Adelaide Thunderbirds. This is an all-New Zealand clash, though, the first one that we've seen in finals. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because they'll know each other so well.
Yeah, they will. So therefore, I think it's about the team that comes out on top is the one that's going to adapt quickly, be a little bit more resourceful. You know, who's going to have the most tricks up their sleeve? You'd think it would be the Magic, but look, the Steel as a team, I've been impressed with the game plan that they stick to every time they go out on court. But you know, they had a bit of a glitch last week against the Swifts, so it'll be interesting to see if they can change that and make it work for them tonight.
Well, let's duck away sideline now and catch up with former Thunderbirds captain, former Australian captain Catherine Harvey-Williams, and she's joined by the general manager of TTNL, Anthony Ebrard.
Well, Andrea, considering I'm with the boss of the competition, Anthony, I'm going to get straight to the point. I get asked two questions in relation to this competition all the time, so I'll get you to answer them. Number one, when are we going to get an umpire from each country officiating all games? And when are we going to go to 2 full rounds?
Two very good questions, and two questions that we get asked on a regular basis. In terms of the umpiring, we're trialling the Trans-Tasman umpires in the finals, so that's something that we'll definitely consider for the future. And in terms of the 2 full rounds, look, I mean, the competition's been so successful in the last couple of years. I think it's inevitable that that we will move to that. When? Well, we'll have to wait and see.
Well, at least it's on the agenda, Anthony. So it is year 3. Can you just give me some of the highlights that you've experienced this year?
Yeah, look, I think the crowds have been wonderful, both at the games and on TV, and for us to have a truly Trans-Tasman final series with the best of New Zealand and the best of Australia, it's been brilliant.
Thanks, Anthony. Enjoy the night. Back to you, Andrea.
Well, thank you, Kath. Always great to hear from Anthony Everard. We're back with you very shortly with more live netball from the Victor Arena in Auckland. And before we duck to the break, just a reminder that the last time these two teams played, it was the Steel who prevailed.
A stunning victory for the home side, the Southern Steel.
I don't think so at all. I think it's, one apiece now, and I know, they'll think they can beat us and we think we can beat them, so it's going to be a tough, very heated match, and we're certainly looking forward to it.
I guess to make that final, I know Southlanders really love their netball, and we haven't been in a final in quite a long time, so yeah, to make that final and to win it would be really great.
I think it's just another opportunity to make the top 4, and every year we aim to make the top 4, and when you do, it's you've ticked one box, and then the next step is to make the final. So it's certainly really exciting for me, and I can't wait to get out there and on Monday night and show what we've got.
Great defence from the Magic. Van Dijk just clapped her hands exuberantly.
It's a Van Dijk paper, but it's everybody in their team. I mean, they got a really talented team, and they got good players all over the court. So I think if we get a good game plan and we work together and just stick to what we're good at, then I think we can win.
So have they got nerves of steel, or is it the Magic?
I think it's good for us to be playing in New Zealand, and obviously against another New Zealand side, and I think our form this year was certainly gelled towards the end of the season. We're stepping up each game. Obviously a bit of a hiccup on Monday against the Swifts, but we're certainly happy with where we're at, and we still need to take another step up to beat in that top 4.
We're back live at Victor Arena in Auckland with the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic bracing themselves for a Southern Steel onslaught. The Steel were pasted a week ago by the Swifts in Sydney, so they're hitting this one wanting to make amends in this sudden death semi-final. Yes, welcome back. It's great to have your company. And Anna Stanley, the Steel, the Magic and all New Zealand encounter, if you were to sum up the strengths of both of these teams, what would they be?
Well, of course, with the Magic, they've got quality players right through court. They've got arguably the best goal shooter in the world down one end and arguably the best defender down the other end. So that's a bit of strength in both goal circles. For the Steel, look, they're a team that play well together as a team. They play patient, clinical netball, and that's often really hard to defend. So you'd hope that the Magic, if they want to have a chance, they need to attack them and attack them right from the start.
Well, let's check out the starting 7 wearing Southern Steel colours for this one. And really, really tried and true, a good starting 7. Robin Broughton showing no changes in the starting 7. Liana De Bruyn and Selby Rickett pair up down that defensive end in goalkeeping, goal defence. And the mid-core were led by the in-form Liana Barrett-Chase at wing attack, Wendy Frew at centre with the courageous wing defender Erica Burgess at wing defence, and down the shooting end we've got Danica Wipa'iti and the playmaker, the wise old head Megan Dean in at goal attack. If there were changes to be made, I would expect Juliana Naupu to come on. She's an impact player from the bench. And the coach of the Southern Steel, the esteemed Robin Broughton, who's now standing by with Kath Harvey-Williams.
Robin, what's the confidence like amongst the group following the loss against the Swifts last week?
Well, that was a hard one, but this is a new challenge and we worked on it like that.
And what are the key elements to a Steel victory this evening?
The key elements: have confidence in our game plan, play at our pace and cherish what we get.
Good luck, Robin.
When you talk about key players, you can't go past Megan Dean for the Southern Steel and Liana De Bruyn, the woman you see there, both absolutely crucial tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Megan Dean, look, she averages 19 centre passes a game, so she's a real playmaker off the centre pass and in the goal circle. And Liana De Bruyn, you'd have to say, is the most informed goalkeeper. So, look, they've got strength right through.
Well, now let's check out the starting 7 for the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. And no spanner thrown by coach Nolene Taurua.
Yeah, so both coaches playing it safe, which you'd expect in a major semi-final. Casey Williams pairs up with Jodie Todd, so good to see her back in at goal defence after having a calf injury. In the mid-court, we've got Langman, Solier, and the English import Jade Clark gets her 4th start in the Magic colours. And down the shooting end, well, you've got the world's best Irene van Dijk in at goal shoot, pairing up with Jodie Brown in at goal attack. I'd imagine Nolene Taurua will stick with the 7 out on court tonight.
And the Magic do just seem to be steadily building, so I guess more of the same, the request tonight from coach Nolene Taurua, who's now with Kath.
Nolene, your team seemed to turn the corner last week. What's the mood been like in the camp in the lead up to this game?
Yeah, I know it's a great mood. It's an opportunity for us, to get out there and have another game. Looking forward to it.
Good luck, thank you.
Casey Williams, it was her 25th birthday against the Thunderbirds last week. She had a blinder. She needs another one.
Yeah, she did. Can she back it up 2 weeks in a row? She's just started to peak at the right time. She's got Jodie Todd on the outside of her. I'm sure those 3 defenders for the Magic will be on song tonight.
Jodie Brown, we talk so much about Irene van Dijk, but Jodie Brown, she really just needs to soldier through and pull out a great performance.
Yeah, well, often when Brown has a good game, the Magic attack end seem to click. She shot 93% against the Thunderbirds. She's got the best feed into Van Dijk, so look, let's hope she performs strongly down that attack end.
We're back with live pass-off for you very shortly, right here on Sky Sport. The Southern Steel in town at Vector Arena against the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic, a team just so hungry to walk away with this one.
It's great to have 2 New Zealand teams in a semi-final, and I think cutting it so fine to making top 4, our team wanted it really bad, and I think our whole motto this year has been to the party, and this is one of the steps to get there.
At the moment, pretty fired up. I think this is, another big game for our season. Last week, I classed it as the biggest game of the season, but I think because we're in there now, that's more important, and I think we need to really hit them hard.
They know this is a very important win. It's a boil over down here in Invercargill.
Steel are just so good at keeping possession of the ball, and we need to be able to do the same when we get ball on defence. We need to be able to convert it, and so I think on Monday that's going to be a real key, being able to gain ball and score it.
Oh, there she is. That's the Casey Williams of old.
It is a huge step up, and I think we know that, even though subconsciously you think, oh no, it's just another game. Really, your heart's pumping, there's pressure, there's expectations, but I think individually we need to prepare ourselves for pretty much the biggest match of the season.
It's massive. It's like everything goes to 0-all, and the hunger just, gets magnified. And I think, teams just want to be in that top 4 so bad, and I think we showed that last Saturday, and we're just here to go all the way.
Game 66 of the 2010 ANZ Championship, and it's a biggie. Semi-final 2 comes to you from Vector Arena in Auckland. It's an all-Kiwi sudden death playoff, North versus South. The Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic up against the Southern Steel, and the equation is simple. Tonight's winner goes to Newcastle on Sunday to fight the Swifts for a place in the grand final against the Thunderbirds. With me tonight, former Silver Fern captain Anna Stanley. And Anna, where is this game going to be won and lost?
Well, I think for the Steel, the key player is Megan Dean. She had a blinder last time they played the Magic, but let's not forget, when the Magic played them last time, they were very unsettled. Casey Williams was out at goal defence. We had YTT, we had Tuki. The Magic have settled their lineup, especially down that defensive end. I guess for the Magic, Van Dijk is a strength. Liana de Bruin is playing exceptionally well. So if she has a great game on Van Dijk, it's game on.
And on the sideline, former Australian captain Catherine Harvey-Williams. And Kath, we saw a big boil over in Sydney last night. Any chance of a repeat tonight?
Well, it shows anything can happen, Jenny, so therefore it's hard to tip a winner, but I'm picking the team that puts in the better defensive effort will be the team that comes out on top tonight. Remember, when both teams played last time, Casey Williams had a shock and de Bruin was outstanding, and the result followed suit, so keep your eye on those players.
And talking about teams coming out, here is the Southern Steel taking the court. And Anna, Leanna Barrett-Chase we see there in the midcourt for the Steel. She's had a good season. She'll want a big game tonight.
Yeah, she's performed really strongly for the Steel attacking lineup. Her circlage feeds have been outstanding. She's put in some sensational feeds into Whipper-Iti. So she's the real playmaker, along with Dean down this attack end.
And on the subject of attack end, there are the two for the Magic, Jodie Brown and Irene van Dijk. Been a bit up and down at times this season, but they did settle, didn't they, last week?
Yeah, they did. Played one of their most complete 60 minutes of netball throughout the year, so it'll be interesting to see if they can back it up 2 weeks in a row. Van Dijk now playing at 38. She's had a birthday since around 14, so another year older.
I don't think it seems to matter very much, does it? She gets older and faster and fitter.
And never gets injured, so she's a freak.
So the stage is nicely set here at Victor Arena in Auckland. A crowd thought to be around 5,000, so it might not be a home game, but certainly the Magic are not far away from home. Just up the road, State Highway 1. Wendy Frew receives the ball for the Southern Steel. It will be the Steel with the centre pass. And we are poised for what promises to be a terrific semi-final. The whistle goes for the beginning of the game. Megan Dean taking that pass, as she does so often for the Steel, Anna.
Yeah, well, I talked about it before in fronting, that she gets 19 on average a game. So she does a power of work, not only off the ball, on the line, on the centre pass, but you can see here now she does a lot of work outside the circle before the ball even gets into the circle.
Moment of excitement for this Waikato crowd, but Steel have possession.
I don't think Whipper-Iti was quite ready for that pass, but managed to pull it in.
And I'm not sure if you can read much into it, but Casey Williams went to the wrong end of the court prior to the game starting, so not a great start. Watching Jodie Brown in the warm-up ahead of the game, I tell you what, she was slotting those from all over the circle.
Well, that just shows her confidence that from that far out, she was prepared to put up that first goal, and that'll give her a huge amount of confidence.
When defence contact.
You see the bandage on Jodie Todd's calf. She passed a fitness test yesterday for this game. And certainly essential to the hopes of the Magic.
Yeah, you always worry about calf muscles, especially because she did a little tear. Let's hope that she can withstand a full game here tonight.
Pretty relaxed looking Robin Borden.
Yep,
She's never been to Victor Arena before.
Fingernails aren't getting chewed yet, but the last quarter it might be a different story, Jen.
No, May, she's got any.
And look at that deception from Jodie Brown. Looked like the pass was going to the side, and she just flicked it in. Magic defence causing the first error from the Steel attack.
And you can hear Nolene Taro saying first one, so this is their first turnover that they'll want to get down the other end and convert.
Just having a close look at the Magic before the game, and they did look very relaxed, as though they're extremely prepared for this match, and they would have taken a great deal of confidence from last week's win against the Thunderbirds.
Kath, is it a fine line between being too relaxed and, tense?
Without question, every player is different, Jen. There are some that need to be totally hyped up, listen to the music. There are others that need to be calmed down. So, yes, it is a fine line, but players at this level, I think, know exactly what they themselves require.
Oh, nice pass, Jade Clark, looking long down into Brown.
She's come nicely into the side, hasn't she?
This is her fourth game for the Magic, and she has been really consistent in wing defence. It's a hard position to shine out at. She's picked up lots of ball and turned the ball over.
So no doubting where that portion of the crowd was from. Evident in the Waikato colours. No shortage of advice from the Magic bench.
Well, I think everyone knows just how important your starts are. Great work, Jodie Todd. Just that one-on-one pressure. And she came away with it.
Steel doing well here just to hold up the momentum of the Magic.
Yeah, Selby Rickett and De Bruyn doing a good job in that circle. moving around.
That was a lucky bounce for the Magic.
There's a lesson there. Dean wasn't on the line, waiting that ball.
Good patience shown from the Magic. They were prepared to play the ball around until, this is the great defence work from Todd. They were prepared to play the ball around until the gap's open, so good to see.
Oh, well done to Brain. Unfortunately, though, for her, falling into the hands of Solia.
DeBrain's got her arm up. Yep, they need to give them early. When she's got her arm up, she wants it.
So a confident start from the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. They've scored the last 5.
All the shooters so far sitting on 100%, so good starts from both ends.
Excellent contest there by Selby Rickett. She settled into this game nicely.
Yeah, nice vision from Dean, one-on-one. Williams had a go, but Wapiti too good.
Yeah, very relaxed shooting style, Danica Wapiti. Shooting just over 85% for the championship this year. Yeah, Barrett chase that time, called by Sharon Kelly, backing in.
Of course, both Kiwi sides have to contend with one Australian umpire out there. Very ironic that they decide to put one Aussie and one Kiwi on when it's now a all-New Zealand semi-final.
There is Sharon Kelly.
Better late than never, probably.
Oh.
And, of course, the same situation last night, Anna, in the All-Australian semi. There was Bronwyn Meek, the New Zealand umpire. And ideally, it really shouldn't matter, should it?
No, but I guess, as you say, they're starting to look at it, so let's hope that they do it for the whole season next year.
Jodie Brown acting as ball girl. De Brain,
nice
just
angles.
about.
Yeah, that position was perfect from Langman on top of the circle, makes it very difficult for the defenders.
Great to see Van Dijk up against De Brain, really, because so often in the past we haven't seen them opposing each other because they've always been in the same team. Great contest.
And they're great mates too. And both standing at 1.90, so it's very rare that Van Dijk actually has to match someone of her stature.
And going on from that, if anyone's got Van Dijk's measure, it is De Brain, so it's important Van Dijk gets off to a good start.
Oh, De Brain just about stealing that.
Yeah, it's lucky it got there. Brown could have lifted it slightly, but Van Dijk, she's got pretty good hands. She managed to pull it in.
So the steal now will just not want the Magic to get too much of a run on. Oh, but not if that woman has much to do with it.
Yeah, they're attacking for the steal, just struggling a little bit, and I think that's because the Magic defence, but that was a sweep from the Magic attack, straight in. The Magic defence are a lot stronger. They've tightened up. They've got Clark, they've got Langman on the outside, and Todd and Williams in there. And this is the combination that didn't play against the steal the last time these two teams met.
And we talked about that, Anna, didn't we, in the game against the Thunderbirds? Just signs of the Magic of old.
Yep, peaking at just the right time, because you'd have to say that they've been pretty inconsistent this year. And they've got experienced campaigners out there that, you know, should know under pressure when to start performing. And I guess, you know, this is the time.
And everyone says it's a new ball game when you come to the finals, but it's not really. The Magic have come off a terrific win and a steal a loss, and their confidence will have been dented a little bit.
But then again, you could look at the game that the Thunderbirds lost to the Magic cap and then came out and beat the Swifts, so you just never know sometimes.
Yeah, it's the character of the side too, I guess.
Rather odd-looking shot from Megan Dean, but it counts. That's all that matters. Contact called on Jodie Brown.
instruction, wing defence.
Williams is all over Wipoieti. It's cutting down that attacking option for the steal, making it difficult for the rest of the players.
Oh, Langman through, but she tiptoed offside.
She did well to try and stay onside.
Contact offside centre.
Yeah, nice work, Megan Dean, rolling the circle.
Oh, brilliant. Oh, off her head. Fantastic skills, Casey Williams.
I feel like Superwoman when you get those. I'm sure she will be feeling that right now. And good pick up, Jodie Todd.
Oh! Jodie Brown.
Probably could have landed Jodie Brown. Maybe she was feeling a bit like Superwoman too.
They've come to play, the Magic. Finishes it with a more conventional side, but watch this from Casey Williams.
Great timing, and she tipped it to Todd.
Vantage contact, roll attack. Contact, roll attack, centre third.
So again, you can just see how much work. Oh, Jade Clark. Unlucky, I think she went out of court then. You can just see how much work Megan Dean's doing around the outside of the circle.
Yeah, Todd is dropping back, letting her do that work and then picking her up on entry. It's obviously part of the game plan.
Bit of a half-hearted attempt at a rebound from Wipoieti. She's called for the contact, trying to go through. So another chance for the Magic.
Great pass, Williams to Solia then to break the zone. She looked long and look over the mess, and then when it gets down the attack end, you sweep passes between Van Dijk and Brown.
Yeah, the coach likes it. You'd be wanting a timeout if you're the Steel at the moment. I think they need to keep their heads about them. Someone needs to call it.
She looks relaxed. I wonder what's going on the side. That's better from the Steel. So just over 3.5 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Dominated so far by the Magic.
Steel mid-quarters, they're getting too wide on the circle edge. And when they're wide, it means there's only one option, and that's to pass over the circle. And they're the ones that Casey Williams is so good at coming out for.
That's torrid around this Steel shooting circle.
Right at the top,
Catherine, you can probably hear a few cowbells in the crowd behind you.
Yeah, there's a decent congregation from the Waikato here tonight, cheering their side on, and they'd be happy so far. They look sharp.
Casey Williams like that.
We all talk about how important Van Dijk is to this Magic side, but Casey Williams is the one that really gets them going. She does the spectacular stuff, and her return to form last week was no coincidence that her team found form.
Well done, Selby Rickett, forcing that off the hand of Van Dijk. So a little better patch of play here for the Southerners.
Good pressure, Van Dijk. She's keeping De Bruyn up court as much as she can. And again, great pressure, Jodie Todd and Jade Clark.
Jade Clark has slotted into this lineup so well. She's really reading the play.
And what a great example of through-court defence, starting right at the shooting end.
Yeah, nice pass, Solia. Jodie Brown looked like she was the option at the front, and then the pop pass went over into Van Dijk. Van Dijk, 11 from 11, 100%, as is Jodie Brown.
And Peter Scholes will be enjoying the work of those two. She's, of course, began as the Magic import at wing defence, got that nasty knee injury. Look at Casey Williams.
Yeah, sensational. And what I like about her when she comes out and gets those intercepts, she doesn't involve the umpire. They're clean, well-timed intercepts. And that's the mark of a very skilled individual.
She's a big game player. That's what you want. Magic have already picked up 4 of them. Into the final minute of the first 15. No way through for Langman. Well done, Burgess. Called for the contact, but just slowing down the Magic momentum.
Yeah, again, Brown's really quick with passing those balls into Van Dyke. And there you go, Casey Williams at the set up in front of her. Noeline Tato, I love that.
She's so clean in the air, isn't she? Oh, tough lung, Liana de Bruin. She can't believe it.
Got to be some contest in this game.
Yeah, that's a lucky one for the Magic.
Yeah, she's not happy, but she can't dwell on it. She needs to move on.
Look at Wendy Frew just holding onto that ball. She didn't want to get that centre pass away. It is quarter time at Vector Arena, where the home side, the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic, leading the Southern Steel 16-8.
Tight on the outside. Do you know what I mean? So these two on the outside, say there's the ball here, got tight on the outside, yours is coming through as an outlet. I reckon stay on the ball side and attack that because she's not coming out really hard. Do you know what I mean? If you're not staying on the 3 foot on your road, then drop back ball side to the middle. That's another alternative.
To bring it out. You've got to prepare sooner to bring it out. I don't want to cross over. But you're going to have to. Right. When you're going to bring it out, you've got to run hard into it to bring it out. Together with a pair of you, both you and Erica are holding back. You've got to start driving out. Drive out. Got that?
Quarter time in semi-final 2. It's the Magic leading the Steel 16-8. And what a very interested bunch of onlookers, although Ruth Aiken appears a little tired, but that is a real brains trust of New Zealand netball there. Waitamano, Lynn Gunson, Ruth Aiken, and Anna Stanley. A bit of chat there, both coaches talking to their defenders.
Yeah, well, it's been a strong defensive game, in particular by the Magic, but if we look at the stats here, attempts, look, the Magic have had 6 more attempts than the Steel, and that's one of the reasons why they're leading at the moment.
Second quarter underway at Vector. And Catherine, certainly a dominant performance so far by the Magic.
Yeah, without question. It was interesting watching Casey Williams at quarter time. All the players were sitting on their chairs, but Williams was up and about, jumping around, moving side to side. She's absolutely fired, and I'm sure she's going to lead her team well here this evening.
Dean looking around for support, using Selby Rickett. Burgess just about off balance. Hard yards here for the Steel.
They just don't seem to have that fluidity on this attacking that we're used to seeing with the Steel.
Nice shot with the Iti.
So with Iti sitting on 67%, she's only put up 4 from 6, and you look down the other end, Van Dyke 14 from 14, so the Magic are getting a lot more ball in the circle compared to the Steel.
Still, they've got a turnover here after the contact by Brown.
Contact, wing defense. Watch the screen. Yes. Todd had a go at it. You heard Noeline Tato saying she wants her to attack those balls in that circle because she didn't think Dean was coming out hard enough.
Whippy Iti did well there.
That'll help her confidence.
I just want to eat into this lead that the Magic have mustered.
Yeah, nice pass, but Barrett Chase.
Barrett Chase needs to do more of that. She's renowned for feeding from the circle edge, but Clark's got her measure at the moment.
Well, I was going to say, she didn't look confident. She looked first to Wipiti, then looked away, and then went back and passed it. So it's the sign of not a very confident midi.
A good start to the second quarter for the Southern Steel. They've scored the last 3. And they've won another turnover. Nice tip, Selby Rickett.
Selby Rickett got a good talking to by Broughton at quarter time, so it'll probably help her fight her up a little bit. Broughton telling her to drive onto the ball more strongly.
Vantage contact! Vantage contact! Pushing, goalkeeper. Over here, over here. Yes. On the ball. Yep.
Good pressure brought by her teammates, and perhaps the pressure has paid off. It's a timeout called by Jodie Brown, needing some attention to an ankle or some such part of her leg.
And you'd have to say this is a timeout called because Steele have come out and scored those last 4 goals. They look a lot different than how they came out in that first quarter, so an opportune time for the Magic to regroup.
And look at Robin Broughton. You talked about Casey Williams being pumped up, Kath. Looks like Robbie Broughton might be as well.
Yeah, to some, she's the super coach. She's brought the Steel into this final series. A lot of people didn't tip them and be part of this.
Let's have a listen.
She says her bit and then she leaves.
Next thing's past number 3. Number 3, Jodie.
It's connect up. Connect up. Remember our George. Remember our George. Get George.
Let's go. Come on, Jodie.
It's 1 on 3. 1, 2, 3, 1.
So quite a build up to that chart. 1.
A very solid 1, 2, 3 as well from Laura.
Back to business. They trail by 5, the Southern Steel, but they've hit a nice little patch of play, scoring the last 4 goals.
It shows how quickly you can reduce the margin in this game as well.
That ball comes straight back at Fruit. So make that the last 5 goals going the way of the Southerners. In fact, the Magic only scoring 1 goal so far in this quarter.
Steele have really tightened up down this attack end, and the Magic just need to penetrate. They need to have more than one person onto the ball.
Oh, De Bruyn thought about going out for that. She doesn't have to. Selby Rickett does it.
And that's a great partnership. Selby Rickett went for it and Brain picked it up.
Oh, there's a big contact there.
So this is a very resurgent Southern Steel. Just what we want to see. We've got a game.
And the reason for the comeback too is Selby Rickett. She's taken a couple of really good balls.
Nicely done, Megan Dean. Steadied herself. And that makes it 7 in a row for the Steel. And certainly the Magic's really being held up. Terrific defensive pressure pays off for the Southern Steel.
Jodie Brown getting caught probably a little bit too deep there. Needed to come out and support Langman and Solier. Barrett Chase getting good position on that circle edge, which is where she's so strong with her feeds.
They've just upped the ante, haven't they, the Steel? They feel as though they're well and truly in this game.
Yeah, the crowd baying for Hellborn. It must have been close. But now, just one goal in it. So Todd having to stand down. Let's go into the crowd now, where Andrea McVeigh's with an interested spectator.
Yeah, well, Jen, I won't take too long, I promise, but I have found Timapara George way up here in the bleachers. 16 to 8 at quarter time, but boy, they're coming back, aren't they, Bubby?
Yeah, they are. It's 17-16 now, and it's just an exciting... You can't, you know, let Steel down after the first quarter, so it's becoming a really exciting match.
Do you wish you were out there?
Oh, totally. I'm sitting there talking to Ange next to me thinking, I wish I was there. But never mind, two New Zealand teams, it's good for the country.
You've played both of these teams as opposition. What's the key to beating either?
I think finals is a different game plan. I think it's the mental edge, and whichever team wins, I think whoever had the mental edge is going to do it.
Top 2 inches. Thanks for your time, Timapara.
Awesome, thank you.
Well, mental edge, Anna Stanley, that's probably the ticket, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Magic just starting to score here. And Steel have had 7 goals in a row, so the Magic have broken it with 1 goal.
There, Chase flies through the air.
Well, she's just picked up this quarter. Got a bit of a free rein around that circle edge now.
What do you think, Kath? Did Casey Williams suck that?
I need to have another look at that, but yes, it looked very questionable. There doesn't seem to be a lot of contact allowed down that end.
Yeah, that could be the scoring end, we could say, that end.
She's not too worried. Ah, here's the go back offside against the Magic. So this game really tightening up now.
And Timapara talked about the mental edge. You've got to give credit to the Steel. They were down and out in that first quarter. Selby Ricketts certainly come to the fore, as has Wipoiti. She was totally outplayed by Williams in that first quarter, but playing much better now.
Wipoiti didn't play finals netball last year because she was obviously pulled out being pregnant. So, under pressure.
Good work, Jodie Brown. And Anna, Selby Rickett is somebody we've talked a lot about. We've seen the New Zealand selectors here. Would they be someone they're keeping their eye on?
Yeah, I think defensively at the moment, we've got a good core of players that are really putting their hands up. You know, Anna Scarlett's in the mix now. She's come back and put her hand up. She's ditched beach volleyball. But Selby Rickett has certainly performed well with De Bruyn. And, yeah, she'd have to be in the mix as well, I guess.
And that's probably the best passage of play from the Magic in this quarter. They lead by 3. It was 8 at half-time. Clear ball for Wipoiti. Oh, look at that!
She didn't get the intercept, but she thought, by God, I'm going to try and get this rebound.
That was magic.
This is where the Magic are just struggling again. Good pressure from Frew, getting a tip to that. De Bruyn's really tightened up on Van Dyke too, and they're not really wanting to look over and pass those one-on-ones.
Oh, long arms. How handy they are.
That looked like out of the hand, but...
De Bruyn, Casey Williams, what you can do, I can do too.
She's had a fine season, De Bruyn.
You'd have to say probably she's been more consistent than Williams. Williams has probably been moved around a bit from goalie to goalkeeper, and they've reshuffled that defensive end, but De Bruyn, you'd have to say she's a shoo-in into the Ferns.
And looks to the heavens as the ball is lost down the other end of the court. Nice. So, a battle of the keepers.
Better release from the Magic. It works when they let it go on first phase. Yep, again, the assists that Brown feeds into Van Dijk, pretty high.
So the Magic working their way back up. They've got the lead back up to 5. Solia, or rather I should say Jodie Brown, again called for the contact. She's had a few calls so far.
Good support from Selby Rickett and Burgess. They're always up at that transverse line. Oh, unlucky. Yeah. Williams pointing at Dean's feet, saying, I had the distance.
Dean having a bit to say to Sharon Kelly. I suppose they're the two Aussies on the court tonight. Oh, quick again from Brown.
Fantastic pass. Van Dijk's on 20 from 20. Brown only 3 from 4, but you can see why. It's because she's often the last person feeding the ball in.
And you would have thought by this stage of the game the defenders would be aware of that now. Watching Wendy Frew, she just looks a little bit tired. The Steel have had a lot of travel over the past few weeks. She's finding it difficult to cut and drive, and defensively she's opening up too.
Well, to fly from Invercargill to Auckland's probably just as long as it is flying Invercargill to Sydney. Not quite, but, you know.
Dean short. The rule says that there must be room for a defensive player to go between the two players exchanging the ball. It can be pretty subjective sometimes. Oh, look for all money, she had that.
Went under the arm.
But goes the way of the Southern Steel. So goal for goal in the latter stages of the second quarter.
Yeah, great pass. They're the ones that need to be given straight away before Selby Rickett drops back.
And Anna, would it be fair to say that earlier in the season they were the sort of balls that the Magic weren't putting in?
Yeah, because you lose your confidence in the mid-court when balls aren't going in properly. And I guess it's something that Langman in particular has worked on in her game, and we've seen her improve immensely throughout the year on those feeds into Van Dijk.
Francis Solia doing a power of work in that mid-court. Oh, good looking Erica Burgess. Straight over the rubbish and finding Whippy free.
It was a great pass here. Jodie Brown smothering the 3-foot mark over here, so good vision to look over that. Oh,
there's a miss for Van Dijk. She's only averaging 2 a game or so, pretty impressive stats. But an important turnover for the Southern Steel as we close in on half-time.
Yes, Jodie Todd. Unlucky.
Good effort.
Williams remonstrating with the umpire. The crowd don't like it.
It's good grafting work from Todd. Williams is fantastic on the high ball, and she does a good amount of work on those low ones.
Whippy makes them pay. He's a keen young netball fan. So Steele with the chance here to close it to 2 just before the break.
Yeah, good distance, Williams.
Yeah, that was a terrific lane. She made sure that she looked at her feet, possibly for the benefit of the umpire. And look at this, she'll need... No, time is up. Sharon Kelly makes it very clear that that goal doesn't count. So a much better quarter from the Southern Steel. They've caught up to the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. It's half-time in Auckland, and it's the Magic leading the Steel 24-21. Just 3 goals in it at Victor Arena. It's half-time. The Magic leading the Southern Steel by 3, 24-21. And it's pretty close.
Yeah, well, the first quarter, the attempts were favouring the Magic. Now it's 26 apiece. Magic won the first quarter by 8. Steel won that one by 5. So they're back in it. Stats showing Magic 92% to Steel's 81. So they're getting the ball through the hoop a little bit more accurately than the Steel. Megan Dean, though, she's sitting on 100% 12 from 12. And well, Van Dijk's in the high 90s as well. So this is the quarter. We talk about it so often. It's the championship quarter. I'm sure both teams will come out firing.
And as the teams take the court, a change for the Southern Steel. Juliana Noupu coming in at goal shoot. Anna, is that a surprise?
Well, it's a bit of a surprise to me. It was a good quarter from the Steel. They won that one by 5, but Robin Broughton has confidence in this young girl, as I do. I think she's fantastic. She's an impact player, and we saw her come on last week against the Swifts and performed admirably. So I'm sure she'll put in a good 30 minutes for Broughton.
So third quarter play underway at Vector. And the Magic will be wanting to improve on that second quarter performance. But a good start for the Magic. And now let's go to Waikato Bay of Plenty coach Nolene Taurua. Knowles, you had a great first quarter, not so good in the second. What do you need to do now?
Yeah, just keeping the pressure on. I think we dropped off in regards to our energy out there, and obviously Steel were able to keep the possession of their own ball.
Knowles, you must be happy with the form of Casey Williams and the work that the defence are doing around the outside.
Yeah, there's some beautiful stuff that she's doing, but we've got to relay that right through to the whole team. So, yeah, see what happens.
All the best for the second half.
Cheers.
And just as we hear from Nolene Taurua, lovely first settling shot there from Juliana Noupu. So she'll feel good about that. Oh, off the hands of De Bruyn. And Selby Rickett there. Great turnover, Steel.
Noupu has played against the Magic this year. She played against them in round 2. So she's familiar with playing against one of the best defenders.
So let's now go down to Southern Steel coach Robin Broughton. Robbie, you've made the change in the shooting circle. Tell us about it.
Oh, just wanted some movement, just change it. See how we go.
Change it, even
Quite
though,
good.
Rob, that was a good second quarter for you.
Big quarter it was, yeah. Now we just have to play our own game with her.
All the best, Robbie.
Thank you.
They've certainly got away to a pretty good start in this third quarter. Whoopi Iti should be disappointed to be on the sideline, but a lot of interest in this young Juliana Noupu.
Well, I guess what she brings is that movement. With Iti, you've got that one-on-one, the high ball, which Casey Williams is so strong at. So bring someone shorter on faster, and you know, let's see if Williams is as effective.
Robin Broughton refreshing though, just a simple answer.
Yeah.
The team does play simple netball too, so probably a reflection there, but you know, she just said, why not change it? Fair enough.
The chant goes up from, oh, but it's all to no avail. De Bruyn just comes through. Easy pickings.
Oh. Exactly the same position too that De Bruyn got it. Williams did. Top of the circle, read it well.
Selby Rickett gets in on the action.
Oh, that looked like she was coming from out of court then.
Yes, De Bruyn out of court, in court. So topsy-turvy play. But it's the Steel in possession. Score here, and they tie the game up.
Yeah, clever play from Noupu.
She's cool as a cucumber,
yeah,
isn't she?
she is. For someone that's so young. And when she comes on, you know, it's hard to come on in the middle of the game. Admittedly, you've had the luxury of sitting on the bench and watching, getting a feel for the game. But, oh, Jodie Todd having a dabble at that.
It's interesting, though. You can understand the move from Broughton, apart from the fact they won that second quarter. Now it appears a better or a more difficult match for Williams, whereas Williams probably enjoyed the ball coming in hard to Wipaiuti.
So the Southern Steel in front.
She certainly changes her game plan as a coach, Robbie, to suit, you know, the style of opposition, and it's worked for her in the past, and that's obviously why she's made the change.
And Catherine, you just get the feeling that this game's ignited.
Yeah, look, the Magic were under pressure because they had an outstanding first quarter and they would have been feeling extremely confident, but the Steel have just worked away at it, nothing fancy, just playing their basic style of game, and you can just feel them building. So I think the Magic are really feeling the pressure at the moment.
Hard to believe that the Magic can squander an 8-goal lead, though, in that first quarter.
But hasn't that been the story of the Magic for the past 3 years? Signs of brilliance, but other times they just crumble under the pressure.
Megan Dean keeping the Southern Steel nose in front. And remember, the Steel have never gone further than this stage of the competition. They've never made a preliminary final.
Of course, the Magic have been there a couple of times.
Too casual, Van Dijk.
Second miss.
And how costly will that prove to be?
Just look at the record of the Magic in the final series. They've played 5 times, only won once. So not a great record coming in.
Well, she shot 85%, Juliana Nawipi, the last time she played the Magic. 29 from 34, so it looks like she's starting how she finished off.
Easy pick-up for Williams. Magic held up in the midcourt.
And the crew certainly tightened up her defensive game.
Yeah, that's advanced. Wendy Frew on the outside of the circle, just pushing Langman around a little bit too much.
They look a little more nervous, those Magic supporters, than they did earlier in the game.
Yeah, nice work, Solia, moving around the circle. Edge there to get the best position.
28 all.
Magic, last 2 goals.
The jumper working for Williams on that occasion. Oh, but Frew winning it back for the Steel.
Clark not taking her feet to the ball.
Oh, look at the argy-bargy. Great shots. Williams and Dean, what a battle. Look at this.
They don't do weights for nothing, Jenny.
I thought that sort of stuff was just only on the dance floor.
Oh, that was an ambitious pass. Got there, though.
Yeah, Van Dijk doing well to hang on to it. She's got the contact call anyway. Again, Van Dijk under all sorts of pressure from De Bruyn.
Well, you could say that this end down here, where Mandy Nottingham, the New
Zealand umpiring is the scoring end, because at half-time there was 29 goals scored down this end and only 16 from the Aussie umpire. So that might favour the Steel in the last quarter if they get Manny Nottingham down their end.
That's right, and given that theory, if you were a Magic supporter, you'd want them to pile on a few more goals in this quarter.
Yeah.
Tippy toes in the mid-circle, Langman. Goal for goal. Oh, perfect pass. Wabidi. Oh, no, Ukurana couldn't stay in court. So is this the turnover that the Magic needed?
Yeah, Brown's got her arm up. The crowd saw it. They're like, give it.
That was a great take from Van Dijk. It was down round her knees. That spectator can't watch. Well, this game certainly befitting of a semi-final.
You can see Irene Van Dijk directing the play from the back there.
I guess this is sudden death netball, isn't it? Everything has to go on the line. And the Magic work their way back to a 2-goal advantage. Oh, and the turnover again.
Oh.
Oh, well, oh, she got it back.
Again, Van Dijk does well to clean those passes up that don't quite get there, but she snaffles them in.
I thought for all money De Bruyne had won that. So a push from the Magic.
Magic scoring the last 4 goals. And
Sylvie Rickett timeout.
Yeah. The players aren't mucking around. As soon as one team gets a roll on, time is being called.
Just over 4 minutes remaining in this crucial third quarter. Jeepers, we've been everywhere, Anna. We've had the Magic way ahead, we've had the Magic down. They're now back up, but there's only 3 goals in it. It's nothing, is it?
No, there's nothing, but as you say, the Magic have scored the last 4 goals. A bit of confidence coming back, but there's nothing in this game.
I think we're waiting for the announcement to pass.
So a change being made here. Jenny Ferguson coming on. At goal defence, Selby Rickett has left the court.
It actually looked like a legitimate timeout. She did look a little bit aggrieved, so it'll be interesting to hear what happens there.
And Kat, that's quite a loss for the Steel, isn't it? Selby Rickett's been in good form.
Yeah, she was one of the instigators of their comeback, and she'd been putting on some decent pressure, and the combination with De Bruyne was superb. So it'll be interesting to see how Ferguson combines with De Bruyne now. It's a key to this Steel surge.
Another miss for the Magic has given possession to the Southern Steel. There is Selby Rickett just cooling down.
Doesn't look very comfortable, does she?
She'll be disappointed.
It's close to a rolled ball, that pass that Barrett Chase gives to Dean.
She does a lot of those, doesn't she? I'm surprised she gets away with it all the time.
Can't roll a ball on the court, obviously. You can bounce it.
I guess it only has to bounce up a millimetre above the crowd.
Yeah. What defines her, bouncing around.
Give away, it's a good result for the Steel. Oh, that shot coming up short.
Yeah, nice chase, Jade Clark.
She's gritty, isn't she, Clark?
And that's why, as a coach, you always tell your wing defences and wing attacks to stay on that goal circle edge there, because you never know what ball is going to come your way. And Jade Clark got that one then.
She spent a lot of time with Laura Langman talking to the umpires at half-time, did Clark. I think she felt as though she was being picked up a little bit too much.
And again, that deception from Brown sucks everyone to thinking she's going to shoot. Flicks it in to Van Dijk. Movement this time from the Magic. Again, the pass. They push it out to 4.
Jenny, I'm just a spectator, but I'm getting frustrated with the Steel defence. They know that Brown passes off, so don't worry about defending the shot. Just get on Van Dijk, and if Brown shoots, so be it. She's probably not as accurate as Van Dijk.
Oh, and just a little too much pressure there on Ubu, forcing the pass a bit high.
Well, you'd think Jenny Ferguson would know that. She's only played 6 quarters so far in 4 matches this year, but she's been around the netball circles for a while. She's a wily old thing.
Oh, nice work from the Steel. Now the Magic get the ball away, but they're having to work.
Yeah, nice pass.
But you're right, the Steel have just gone a little bit off the boil. Still appears to be having a great time, Van Dijk.
Both shooters just getting caught on the baseline, but again, Brown, she's got the skills and vision to get it to a goal shooter.
Fruit finding Burgess and needing to go back to her again. Into the last minute we go. It's been absorbing this third quarter.
Yeah, good patience, Barrett Chase. Now Fruit rolled around the top of the circle. Oh.
Lovely high shot over the arms of Casey Williams.
Naoku on 6 from 8, so she's sitting at 75%.
Oh, terrific feed, Laura Langman.
And that's a real height mismatch. That was Jenny Ferguson back on Van Dijk then, so there's no way she was going to get a hand to that.
The cowbells ring out. Naoku quickly trying to get back into position. No way in, though, for that ball.
Good 3-foot mark from Todd.
And the Magic will want this clock to run down.
Oh,
and they've won it. Good work by the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic in the dying seconds of the third quarter. A very topsy-turvy third quarter. The Magic look pleased with it. They should be. We go to the break with the Magic leading the Steel 38-32.
Who will come back on now? But there has to be man-to-man. She's creeping in too much. I'm going to get free to go man-to-man on Joe. Over that side, this side, everywhere.
Yeah, because we got a lot of ball in the first 10 minutes, so we're just going to keep doing that.
She's going to pull us. So remember, we want to work the line to get the ball lifted up and over. Even if we have to stand there, yeah? Our body up and down. Get in the line, otherwise they're going to do those piddly little passes. We've got to get in there. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise they're going to do these piddly little things. We've got to get in there to make the readjust.
Well, the season for one of these teams will end in 15 minutes. It's the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic leading the Southern Steel 38-32. Anna Stanley, the return of Selby Rickett.
Yep, Jenny Ferguson came on momentarily in that third quarter, but it didn't work because Magic are up by 6. So Selby Rickett has returned to the court. Her injury is obviously not as bad as we once thought. But yeah, what an up and down match. Magic won that one by 3, so they're going into this last quarter 6 goals up. It's quite a nice handy lead, but anything can happen in 15 minutes.
And we've also said that the Steel end is the scoring end, and only time will tell.
1 quarter remaining in semi-final 2. The Magic ahead by 6. But we've seen already the Southern Steel come back from a bigger deficit than that. And terrific work from Liana de forcing the turnover straight away.
De Bruyn during the break was urging her players just 15 more minutes, 15 more minutes.
Well, I guess you look at someone like De Bruyn, she's sacrificed a lot. She's moved her little baby down to Invercargill. She's had her mother come over from South Africa for the ANZ champ, so she won't want to finish tonight. She'll want to keep going.
Yeah, it's all well and good during this professional era to talk about how much money the players earn, but at the end of the day, the reward is winning the competition. That's what they're here for.
Great start, Southern Steel. Let's go now sideline. Well, we will go sideline shortly, because I know Andrew McVeigh on the prowl in this big crowd in Victor Arena. And they'll be pleased with that intercept from the Magic. Oh, Van Dijk not wanting to shoot.
Did a full pirouette then, Van Dijk.
Oh, I thought there was almost too much on that ball from Jodie Brown.
Even though that would have been an easy shot for Brown, she just wants to make sure of it, get it to Van Dijk. She's closer under the hoop. Every goal counts in this last quarter. Oh, lovely dodge. Van Dijk.
Was that an up to go back?
It was an up to go back.
I love the up to go backs.
We don't see Van Dijk do the up to go back much, so
I just like saying it. Oh, my word.
Let's fire it right back to the goalkeeper.
That was shades of Malawi. That was extraordinary. It's ended up perhaps costing the Southern Steel dearly. Oh, but no, it hasn't. Another uncharacteristic miss from Van Dijk. Oh, now it's De Bruyn looking a bit uncomfortable. She's talking to Sharon Kelly, the umpire. No, she's going to play on.
Contact, wing attack.
That was quite a fall from De Bruyn. Oh, Langman strongly through. No, she's been called.
Yeah, Burgess was smart then. She put her body into Langman when she felt her coming through.
A lot of feeling in this game now. 12 minutes remaining. No way in for the Steel, and it's... No, it's
offside goal attack.
It is still Steel in possession. Ball goes up and over Jodie Brown's shoulders. Dean, what will she do with it? Finds Nauku.
Yeah, good pressure, Jade Clark. Having a good wee tussle. Garrett Chase likes to use her body at wing attack.
Oh, again, Todd quick. No, but not quick enough, it seems. So Juliana Nauku settles things down with a goal for the Steel. And this crowd really getting involved. And in the crowd, Andrew McVeigh.
Hey, Jen. Well, I've tracked down the Silver Ferns coach, Ruth Aiken. Great to have you with us during game time. This has been a topsy-turvy one, but plenty in it for you.
Yeah, it has been. I was really pleased it got close after that second quarter. It was starting to blow out a bit then, but no, some fantastic netball.
When you watch the individual performances out there, Ruth, you must be heartened by players hitting form at the right time.
Yeah, I think it's good to see some of that experience really coming to the fore in pressure situations.
The fact that it blew out in that first quarter and the Steel came back, that's heartening for you as well?
Yeah, it is good. I think Magic have got a lot of firepower that are operating out there, and you know, it is a challenge for Steel from here on in, but yeah, good to see.
And very quickly, Ruth, I think you'd have to say it doesn't really matter that this wasn't played in the Waikato Bay of Plenty region, because this atmosphere is amazing, isn't it?
It's fabulous. I'm really enjoying it.
Wonderful. Thanks for your time, Ruth.
Yeah. Wow, what a fantastic piece of play then. Magic got it in the end.
And through the hands of so many different players, it went one way then the other. Selby Rickett showing a terrific burst of speed. A lead of 8 for the Magic.
Yeah, they just need to work it around the Magic here. Something that they used to, I guess, watching the Steel do on attack.
Interesting, that look onto Brain. She looked behind her to Sharon Kelly, I think trying to say, look, she's pushing off me. The lead is 9. Another great shot from Megan Dean.
Megan Dean's on 19 from 19. She hasn't missed a goal yet, 100%. So fantastic stats, but Naopu has called time. So this will be the first time out for the Steel in this quarter.
So halfway through this last quarter, they trail by 9. Whippiiti will be very interested to find out what's going on. Let's see if we can listen in to something. Jovial in the Magic. Round up, but not quite so much in the Steel. They know they've got a job ahead of them.
Yeah, it's a big job, down by 8, but there's still 8.5 minutes to go. So the Steel can still win this game, but the Magic, you just feel, are just starting to play with a bit more confidence in this last quarter.
Yeah, it's that belief by the Steel, isn't it, that they believe that they can still close this gap. They are good enough.
And interesting to see in that injury break, Danica Whippiiti returning to the court. So, all sorts of chops and changes from the Southern Steel. Robin Broughton obviously not happy with Naupu.
We're used to seeing changes aplenty from the Magic, but Nolene Tarua stuck with the 7 out on court tonight.
Yes, a little push in the back from Brown.
Casey thought about it.
Just that feed into the circle, not good enough for Whippiiti's pushing her way out. And again, that's better ball. Whippiiti back on court, back on the scoring sheet. And is this the beginning of another surge by the Southern Steel? They need it.
Yeah, they need something to give them some confidence. An intercept from the back.
Well, certainly that woman is doing all she possibly can. Perfect. Oh, perfect balance.
She often gets it, Van Dijk, right on that baseline. She's got superb balance. Mind you, she doesn't have big feet for someone that's so tall, I'll have you know.
Ah, yes. Interesting. You'd think she'd fall over.
Piece of useless information for you.
Oh, threading the needle, Jodie Brown.
Nice pop. Van Dijk coming in between the two defenders.
Van Dijk won't want it there. Yep, too much on that ball. Burgess tipping it out.
Yeah, nice tip from Burgess, but went offside. But not getting pulled.
Oh, almost too easy.
And you certainly feel like you're in the Waikato now. The chant going out, Magic.
I must say to Anna, I spied that not only cowbells here, I saw some vuvuzelas earlier. That must have made their way here from South Africa. I think that's how you say it.
Oh,
Good work, Jodie Todd. Disappointment on that play for Broughton.
Advantage obstruction defence. Advantage outside wing. Advantage obstruction wing.
It's being forced back here, the Magic. They're being patient. No way round, but she goes back. Gets there in the end, Van Dijk.
She's had a good game in terms of her movement tonight, Van Dijk. Probably not her strongest shooting game, although she's still at 90%. She only misses normally 2 a game, but just her movement in that circle, as we said earlier, they're up to go back to the Dodgers. She's certainly been sharp tonight.
And her hold's been really good as well. De Bruyn's been right on her, but she holds until the last minute, which makes it virtually impossible for the opposition.
And she'll be glad she didn't have the sort of game that Swift shooter Catherine Cox had last night, coming off court with a broken nose and a corked thigh.
Advantage wing contact. Obstruction wing defence.
Oh, that tough luck for Selby Rickett. I think she got round and got the tip.
Goalkeeper.
Burgess called. And you'd have to say this is starting to be a very big ask for the Steel to come back from this position.
Yep, starting to slip away, up by 9. 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, they still need to go direct into the circle now. They can't waste time. They've just got to risk it. If it doesn't come off, at least they won't die wondering.
With Iti just not quite as quick as Nautu. I've already seen that in this last few phases of play here. It's just taken the Steel a little bit longer to get it in the circle.
Selby Rickett just a little bit late coming round. They're starting to ooze confidence now, the Magic.
Yeah, you can hear Nolene Taru there build on it.
And she'll know they've got it. Oh, Clark, sneaky little tip.
And great pick up from Brown. Just hovering right over that transverse line there, picking up the crumbs.
Brown's had a good game tonight.
Defence contact, advantage offside.
Langman thought about it, didn't she? You can almost see her mind working.
Sometimes when your shooter's right in front of you like that, Langman needed to bring the ball down to chest height and just give it in the guts is what we call it.
Oh, Langman, another player who's had a fine season. The Magic make the margin 10 with the centre pass to come. It almost comes right back at Van Dijk. So Anna, look, when you look at this margin, does it almost flatter the Magic? When you look at how the game's gone.
Well, it has. It's gone in ebbs and flows, hasn't it, from both sides? It's been the Magic one quarter, the Steel the next. And at this stage, yeah, by 10, it does flatter the Magic a bit. But to their credit, they've really come out and stomped their authority in this last quarter and are putting the pressure on when they need to.
Yeah, she's looking pretty old. The faces of 2 coaches, they tell a story, don't they?
And there are the quarter scores there, so very topsy-turvy, but favouring the Magic 12-7 at this stage. And, of course, the third quarter, which we say is so critical. As they have a strong quarter in netball. So it looks like the Magic will be heading to Newcastle, playing the Swifts, who are coming off a big loss to the Thunderbirds. So,
yes, my word, wounded Swifts, first loss of the season.
Interesting if Cox is healed with her nose and her thigh. If she isn't, I think the Magic have got a good chance of beating them.
I don't think they'll care too much where they go. They'll just want to make sure that they're going. And they have done that with style tonight.
And as has Megan Dean, 23 from 23, 100%. So, you know, fantastic effort from Dean to step up and shoot a 100% game in a pressure game with the defenders that she's had marking her.
So they've tried everything with Steele, different defensive combinations, different shooting combinations, but it hasn't worked for them on the night.
No, you'd have to say Magic have definitely outplayed them and probably, you know, they certainly deserve to win. Oh.
So the Steele might have the last say, but it is the Magic, which is on its way to Newcastle for a date with the Swifts. And the season is over for the Southern Steel, beaten here in Auckland by the Magic, 50 goals to 42. And really, it was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it was, but you can just see the elation on the faces of these Magic girls. And a nice touch there, a nice hug between Nolene Taroa and Robbie Broughton. And the Steel have done a fantastic job, you know, started the season slowly, but really came into it towards the middle and end of this ANZ champ season. And you know, they've done this southern end of the country, very proud to be here and make the semi-final. But tonight it was certainly the Magic's night.
So, in the wash-up, 8 goals left. Let's go sideline now, where Catherine Harvey-Williams is joined by Laura Langman.
Congratulations, Laura. You've got to be happy with that through to the preliminary final.
Oh, absolutely. I think we wanted to be able to do both zone and tight man-to-man, and I think we did it quite well tonight.
How much did last week's win against the Thunderbirds mean to the Magic?
Huge. I mean, we'd been criticised for being inconsistent, so, you know, that was a big game on Saturday, and we needed to back it up tonight, and I'm so proud of the girls that we did it.
And did you do any different leading up to that game against the Thunderbirds and then to build onto this week in terms of turning your whole season around? Because that seems as though what's happened.
No, we kept to the same processes. We just had to do them better, and I think just absolutely ecstatic.
Now, Laws, there are 2 parts to this interview. This second part is for me to congratulate you on winning the New Zealand Fisher and Paykel Player of the Year. You've had an outstanding season. You've got to be happy personally.
I'm in a great team, and total thanks to the girls. We're going to have a great season.
You've won a $6,000 fridge, Laws. What will you be stocking it with?
I don't know yet.
Maybe some champagne in a couple of weeks' time?
Yes, definitely.
And the Swifts next week in Australia, in Newcastle, what will the Magic need to do to topple them?
We need to be really smart. The Swifts have had a very classy season, and I think they'll be hurting after their game against the Thunderbirds. So it's about being clinical, it's about being able to do that flair, but also have that structure, and that's something we'll be focusing on.
Well done, Laura, and good luck next week.
Thanks, Kath.
A clearly delighted Laura Langman. She's leading the Magic to their 3rd preliminary final in a row. Let's now go back to Kath, who's joined by Steel captain Megan Dean.
Commiserations, Megan. They were just too good tonight.
Yeah, they were. They were pretty good right through the court and put a lot of pressure on us the whole game, and we managed to come back a few times, but they were really solid, and they deserved to win.
They started really well. Was the team nervous prior to the game, or was it coming off that loss last week that affected you?
Yeah, maybe we were a little bit hesitant after last week, but I thought we found our feet well in the second quarter, and we definitely had our chances, but they were very good tonight.
You had a terrific second quarter, 13-8, and then you made a change. You took Wipaiti off and Nauupu, you placed her onto the court. Do you think that affected the side?
I don't think so, because we've been doing that quite a bit this year, and we just wanted a bit more movement, and we thought we were getting a bit stagnant in attack towards the end of the second quarter. So I think we did well in that third quarter, but yeah, as I said, they were just great tonight, so they deserve to win.
And when the disappointment subsides, you've got to be pleased with the performance of the Steel to get this far, because a lot of people didn't tip you to make that top 4.
Yeah, definitely. I think we were down in like 7 and 8, what people were predicting, and we don't have the superstars in our team, and we had a lot of new combinations on there, so it's definitely been a building process for us, and we're really happy with how we went in the second half of the year.
Thanks, Megan. Well done.
Thank you.
Well, disappointment for Megan Dean, but I tell you what, this crowd at Victor Arena, they're being saluted by the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. You'd think you were in Hamilton or Rotorua or Tauranga, but certainly the Magic have come up trumps 50-42, and they will be very delighted that their season stays alive. And they will be going to Newcastle on next Sunday, in fact, to meet the Swifts. But we'll have more analysis after the break.
Euphoria for the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic, because they have beaten the Southern Steel 50-42 at Vector Arena. Heartbreak for the Southern Steel. They'll head back to Invercargill bright and early tomorrow morning with the preliminary final out of their sights, because this is a night here at Vector Arena which Anna Stanley has well and truly belonged to the Magic fans and their mighty team. It ebbed and flowed, but the bottom line is, heading to Newcastle next week, probably the best team won.
Yeah, they did, and as you say, it was a game that ebbed and flowed. Magic started well, second quarter, Steel came out and won it, but in the end, the Magic players, to their credit, came out in that second half and really put their foot down. The Steel made a few changes, but nothing seemed to work.
Well, celebrations are plenty for these Magic players, but what of their coach? Well, Nolene Taurua is now standing by sideline with Catherine Harvey-Williams.
Nolene, a terrific performance by your girls. What was the most pleasing aspect?
I think in the second quarter there was times when they were actually starting to come back at us, and I think they got about up by 2 goals, and we were able to absorb that and run it through, so that's probably the most pleasing.
Jade Clark, she's really filled a void for you, hasn't she? Only 4 weeks in, and it looks like she's played with your team for the past few years.
Yeah, definitely. I'm surprised that she hasn't been picked up, to be honest, and what she's putting out there is brilliant. Her transition into Magic, not only the team but also the environment, has been seamless, and she's a hard grafter.
Okay, let's get down to business. Your record in Australia isn't great. You're heading there to Newcastle next week. What do you have to do to turn things around and beat the Swifts?
Yeah, we're having like 3 trainings this week, let's put it that way. Actually, it might be 3.5. And we're going to relook at that one-on-one style, but we know definitely when we're strong in our structure that we work well. So we're going back to that sort of stuff and a lot of repetition.
I'm sure all of New Zealand will be with you, Nolene. Good luck.
Thank you, Kat.
So the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic are about to hop the ditch to face the New South Wales Swifts next Sunday at the Newcastle Entertainment Centre. And that's another sudden death. The winner of that one will go straight through to the grand final. Anna Stanley, you and I will both be at that one. How are you calling it?
Well, I reckon it's all going to come down to whether Cox takes the court. She's got a broken nose. She had a Charlie in that game. If she takes the court, look, the Swifts will be hurting from that loss. They could turn around. If she's not on the court, Magic have a very good chance of coming away with that win.
And she wasn't even playing against Casey Williams. She's an absolute key, is she?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, look, she's a star player, and often when she's on song, the Swifts are as well. And we saw against the Thunderbirds, she wasn't, and they lost. So she is the key.
Well, it's been a mighty old night for the Waikato Bay of Plenty Magic. They are the victors here at Vector, 50-42 to live.